Okay, perfect. I think we'll probably get going, guys. That's okay with you? Cool, good stuff. Everyone, you're very welcome to our webinar today on TikTok. So I'll do some quick introductions before we get started. So I'm Roisin, I'm the head of social at Wolfgang Digital. I'm joined by my great colleague Anna, and she's the deputy head of social. And we're also delighted to have Joel here from TikTok. We've been working really closely with Joel actually over the last few months on lots of our client campaigns. So we really appreciate him hopping on this webinar as well. And he's the performance and branding partnerships manager at TikTok. So we're delighted to have Joel here too. So yeah, I guess the agenda for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to be bringing you all through what I see the biggest opportunities for brands on TikTok. Then I'll pass over to Joel. He's going to be talking a little bit more detail about the TikTok community. Anna's going to bring you through some great case studies we have from very recent campaigns we've ran for our clients and the results we've seen. And then we'll have a little Q&A at the end. So it would be great if, as a question comes up in your head as we're talking, to please put it in the chat. I'll monitor the chats and then we will answer all the questions at the end. So as I say, as soon as a question pops up or something you're not clear about, or just pop it in the chat so I can see it and make note to ask Joel another question at the end of the webinar. So please ask loads of questions. Okay, cool. I'll kick off then, Anna, to the first slide. So yeah, I guess I'm going to talk to you the biggest TikTok opportunities for brands. So I think the biggest one and the first one I'd like to cover is that your audience is on this platform. So here are some numbers of the Irish audience on TikTok. So we currently have 1.6 million monthly active users. This has tripled year on year, so there's huge growth on TikTok. When we look at the gender split, 58% female, 42% male. What I really want to draw attention to here is the ages. So I think there's been a preconceived notion by myself as well that maybe TikTok is a very young platform, so that, you know, it's 17 years and under. But what's great to see is that there's actually a nice range of ages on the platform in Ireland. So you'll see, yes, 17% are 13 to 17-year-olds, but almost half are 18 to 24. 20% of the audience are 25 to 34, and then about 15% are over 35. So actually there is a nice, I guess, age range there. So it's really likely that your audience is on this platform. I think that's probably the biggest thing, because that's definitely the question we probably get the most as an agency. I want to try TikTok, but I think the audience is too young. Well, actually, it's not. There is a nice range of ages on the platform. The second opportunity that we're really excited about is, I guess, the focus on authentic, creative and user-generated content. So one of TikTok's own slogans is "Don't make ads, make TikToks." And in fact, some of oh, thanks, Joe. your background changed at the right time. And one of the best, I guess, the best ads that I've seen on TikTok are ones that blend in with the other videos. So as you're scrolling, you don't even realize it's an ad, and that's really, really powerful. And it's really exciting for us because we've been focused on UGC at Wolfgang for years with the other platforms and trying to use UGC in our ad creative because it works so well. So it's great that this is even more important for TikTok than it is for other platforms. And it's great for brands as well, because remember, you know, this user-generated content or kind of authentic creative, so more of a natural style creative, is going to be lower cost to create. It's not going to be huge production value. So that's really good news for brands as well. And also it's important to, I guess, to consider that, yes, influencers are great to use for this content to your brand ambassadors, but also using the tools that TikTok provide to edit your video content as well, making it look as kind of natural and flow through the newsfeed as seamlessly as possible. But this is something we're really excited about because it's a great transition of creative. We've gone from years ago, social creative being really high brand, using TV ads, maybe cut downs of TV ads. And now we're seeing another transition as well into using really, really user generated content creative, and it's performing really, really well. So that's something that we find really exciting, and it's a great opportunity for brands to try out as well. The next opportunity then is, and this is probably my favorite one, is the impact that running ads on TikTok will have on driving new users to your website. So with TikTok, you're going to reach new audiences that aren't on other platforms. So what I mean by this is you'll see on the bar charts on the right, the percentage of unduplicated users. So essentially, for example, 38% of TikTok users are not on Facebook. 45% of TikTok users aren't active on Instagram, and 60% of TikTok users aren't on Twitter. These are huge numbers, and I think this is probably the most exciting thing for us is the opportunity to tap into a completely new user base. So if you're a brand and you're primarily focused on advertising on Facebook and Instagram, but you haven't gone to TikTok yet, you're kind of missing out on an opportunity to get in front of a user that you're just not reaching on Facebook and Instagram. Or perhaps you're reaching the same users over and over again on Facebook and Instagram, and this is an opportunity to drive a completely new audience into your funnel for remarketing and really building up your audience pools. And we've seen this in the campaigns we've ran, and Anna will bring it through later, but the campaigns that we've ran for our clients, we've seen it have a huge impact on the percentage of new users coming to a website. This is brilliant for building up our audiences so that we can use them for remarketing like other stages of the funnel. So that's a really important point to note as well. The next opportunity then is to consider how TikTok can be used to assist your other channels. So here's just an example of how we use TikTok for Littlewoods, our client Littlewoods. So we're promoting the Michelle Keegan range, and we use TikTok in the upper funnel to drive traffic to the website, and Michelle made some great videos trying on clothes. So once a user saw the TikTok ad, they'd visit the website, maybe they'd browse the products, but not purchase right then and there. And actually then we would use Facebook and Instagram to remarket to those users to drive revenue. So in this case, we use TikTok for awareness and traffic. Obviously, then Google AdWords would pick up them if they Google the range. And then, of course, we'd have our Facebook and Instagram dynamic remarketing ads to push the products to drive that revenue at the end. This strategy may not be the exact way you'll use TikTok, but it's important to consider where does TikTok fit in your journey. And actually, it can slot in at multiple touch points, but it can certainly assist and improve the results you're seeing on your other social channels as well. The next opportunity is probably just that you're going to tap into a really engaged user base. So what we've seen from our metrics so far is that our TikTok ads are driving a really high engagement rate of 3%. This may be an obvious one because, you know, TikTok is a very engaging platform. Users share videos a lot. They comment on videos a lot. If you go on any TikTok video, you'll see lots of engagement. But what's really interesting is that we're seeing a really strong click-through rate as well. So click-through rate on average of 1%, which is actually quite similar to Facebook. So this might be surprising because you may, again, think of TikTok as an upper funnel channel only, but we are seeing traffic coming from this platform. So again, a huge opportunity. And of course, the CPMs are nice and low as well. So they're under €1. So you're going to be able to reach users at scale and also drive traffic and drive that great engagement. So it really does, TikTok can work, we think, at each stage of the funnel, really. So there are the main opportunities, I think, from my side as to why brands should consider adding TikTok. I will pass over to Joel now, and he will bring you through, I guess, a little bit more detail on the TikTok community.
Awesome, thanks, Rishi. Thanks for going over that. Really appreciate that, and obviously, thanks for having me. I've been working closely with Wolfgang now for the past 6-7 months, and we're actually building up quite a nice partnership across a number of their clients. So yeah, really good to meet you all, and thanks for having me. One question that has popped up in the Q&A, which I will answer quickly, has come from Owen. In terms of further breakdown and numbers of users that aren't on the TikTok platform, we've actually just released our Kantar report as well, which has a breakdown of this split by market. And after the call, I'll be able to share this with the team at Wolfgang, who can then distribute that in the follow-up as well. So just to address that before we start. So I guess, we've covered so far, the opportunity on TikTok and how you guys can, work with Wolfgang to improve your activations on TikTok. But throughout my slides, I'm going to dig a bit deeper into some of the opportunities that you can have when working with us, notably looking at some of the key solutions, key strategies that you guys can tap into and have early access to this as well. As a brief introduction as well from our side, if you haven't been onto TikTok, we're all built around a content graph. What this means is that anyone can really become discovered on TikTok. Anything can really go viral. And throughout these slides, we're going to talk about, how we can help your brand potentially go viral on TikTok as well. If we go to the next slide. So I think one slide that's really important and one note here is to look at, how active and attentive our community really is. The only comparable platform to us in many ways is YouTube. YouTube being very much, a long video entertainment platform. TikTok being very much a short video entertainment platform. And with that in mind, we wouldn't necessarily put ourselves in the same boat as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or Snapchat. Firstly, because they identify as social pure players in many ways. But secondly, because you guys may be as guilty as I am. You can be on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You can be watching TV or cooking at the same time. In many ways, you can multitask on these platforms. Because TikTok is 100% sound on, you have to be fully immersed into the content that you're consuming, and therefore you can't necessarily multitask as you can do on other platforms. I think what's really important with this slide is obviously looking at the average amount of time per session that a user spends in our app. And to go back to my initial point whereby TikTok is a short video entertainment platform, and therefore the fact that we're getting 426 seconds spent in the app per session, it's a lot of content, right? Our average kind of creative on the platform is 15 seconds, so you can only imagine how much viewing time that we have within that as well. We go on to the next slide. I think in Roisin's initial kind of point, we looked at kind of the unduplicated amount of users that we have on other platforms. This is actually an updated user base that we've had in the last month as well. So as you can see, we've actually grown in terms of our number on Facebook. So we're now up to 40% of our users are not on Facebook, 45% not on Instagram, 40% not on Snapchat as well. And I think, particularly for some generations, we've seen this wave happen whereby users are actually deleting other apps and coming onto our platform to be inspired by creativity and ultimately entertained as well. We can go on to the next slide. So yeah, I think what we've discussed so far is that TikTok is really a unique community, right? It's a place where individuals can really be themselves, but also a place where brands and advertisers can really be themselves as well. It goes back to our mantra for business, which is don't make ads, make TikToks. And I think what's really fundamental to success on our platform is some of our best practices. Working with creators to create this authentic strategy for your clients, short video, quite short and snappy. And I think the whole ethos of the platform as well, the fact that this is all built around a content graph, giving you that tailored for you page is obviously imperative to success on our platform as well. There's a fantastic stat here that looks at, how TikTok can really drive purchase behavior when people aren't even looking to do that. 71% agree that TikTok inspired them to shop, even when they weren't looking to do so. And, by combining this authentic platform where brands and advertisers can really be themselves with some of our best practices, this is really what's going to reap the rewards for you and your clients as well. And, to touch on that further in terms of our best practices, working with creators is one of those best practices. And we've made it easy for agencies, brands, advertisers to work with the best performing creators, split by market and split by vertical. We've got over 10,000 top vetted creators on here in over 20 different countries. And it essentially allows you to see, how a particular creator has worked with a particular brand, split by market, split by vertical. Again, just giving you the opportunity to make, data-driven marketing decisions, which can ultimately enhance your creative strategy on our platform as well. Cool. And I think, moving into our solutions and quite nicely as well, what we've included here is a breakdown of our solutions that we've got. So we offer a full funnel marketing solution, and we do this from our 5 distinct creatives. We have top view, brand takeover, in-feed video, branded hashtag challenge, and branded effect. Now, the 3 that we offer in Ireland at the moment is the top view, brand takeover, and in-feed video. The branded hashtag challenge and branded effect are soon to come. I'm told by Q3 we should have these included in Ireland as well. But yeah, work closely with the guys at Wolfgang because we can keep them in communication on those as well. If we go on to the next slide, so the creative that I'm going to talk to you about first is the top view. This is, this is a high impact format that is at the top of the For You page as you go on to TikTok. This is limited to one advertiser per market per day and gives the advertiser 100% share of voice for a period of 24 hours. It's full screen, it's sound on, Creatives can vary anywhere between 3 and 60 seconds. We actually did a really good top view with Wolfgang and Woody's last weekend, which performed exceptionally well. And I won't steal Anna's slides too much, but we can deep dive into that in a bit more detail as well. But this creative, really is, probably the most impactful creative that we offer. Can allow you to reach all 1.6 million monthly active users that we have in Ireland for that period of time. Internally, my boss is actually calling it Piccadilly Circus in your pocket, which I think is quite sleazy. But again, you get the picture as to what this format looks like as well. And then the next creative that we have that we can talk about today is the in-feed video. Again, we've been running in-feed videos with Wolfgang across a number of their clients as well. This is essentially, probably the most used creative that we have. This occurs every 4 to 7 creatives within that For You page. Every 4 to 7, because, being honest, we've got an abundance of ad inventory available at the moment, just given that growth that we've had over the past 12, 18 months. But this essentially allows you to optimize towards cost-efficient CPMs. Our CPMs in Ireland, for example, are coming in at under €1. Best performing audiences, best performing creatives as well, and just gives you that full flexibility to to work towards performance metrics as well. If we go into the next slide.
Find it, grab it, scan it, wait 5 minutes. Bite it, squish it, stretch it, love it. Oh God, it's so good. Find it.
So that was a really good example of some of the work that we've done with an advertiser who's really got it right on the platform in the sense of Little Moons. After the call, I can probably share some case studies as well that show you how Little Moons really made a splash on the platform and got their messaging right. But again, that's just a really good example of how authentic brands and advertisers can be on our platform, and taps into some of our best practices, such as don't make ads, make TikToks as well. To complement this, what we've also launched is our new collection ads. These are currently being rolled out in beta mode at the moment for a number of our agency partners, Wolfgang being one of them, given the investment that we've had between both entities over the past 12 months. But essentially, the collection ads allow you to overlay specific creatives and specific landing pages into the bottom of that particular video, and can allow you to have that kind of seamless shopping experience whereby we can take users through to a potential Shopify unit, or even directly to the client's landing page as well. These are currently being rolled out in beta at the moment. I think we've got about 12 advertisers live with these across Europe. So if you are interested, you'd have an early access and early adoption to these formats as well. And in a similar vein to the collection ads, we've also launched dynamic product ads. Again, this allows you to serve specific catalogs to relevant audiences as well. You can obviously upload, your first party data records of your high value customers who may be known to your brand, but not known, or known to TikTok, but not known to your brand, for example, and then serve those relevant catalogs to a particular audience as well. Again, currently being rolled out in beta. So if you want access to these, feel free to reach out after the call. And then lastly, we've got a new lead generation format. Again, if you are looking at overlaying this into your in-feed video ads, it can be great to generate new leads on behalf of your business, and ultimately track the kind of user journey as to how you're going through that full cycle as well. And I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'll say it 3 times. This is actually being rolled out in beta again. So yeah, again, we'd love to have you guys up and running with these as well.
Thank you so much, Joel. That was very informative and very helpful. Thank you.
No worries.
So we are going to show you some campaign examples that we recently ran. We're going to start with Littlewoods Ireland. Littlewoods Ireland is the leading online retailer in Ireland with over 70,000 products. It covers multiple big name brands from Samsung, for example, to River Island, and also multiple categories such as homeware, electricals, and clothing. The most recent campaign we ran with Littlewoods was the branded ATL campaign for Spring/Summer 2021. This was a 20-second clip showing these little moments in our lives that are actually the big ones, like preparing a smoothie with your kid in the morning, or having a 10-minute workout throughout the day, or maybe having a great movie night with your kids in the garden. So this is how the ad looks like.
You all know that the little moments are the big ones. Find everything you need to make the most of every moment at littlewoodsIreland.ie.
So you can see that it's a very short ad of 20 seconds only. We decided to launch it as a dark ad, and we optimized it for reach, because what we wanted to do is to maximize reach on the platform, brand awareness, and ad recall. The results were quite interesting. We achieved a CPM of 65 cents, which is quite low, especially compared to other platforms. But what was more surprising for us is the CPC we got at 16 cents. So if you compare this CPC metric with to other platforms and similar upper funnel optimization goals, you can see that it's very, very low. The average watch time also was great at 8 seconds, which means that people watched on average almost half of the video. If we compare now these numbers from TikTok to the Facebook numbers, because we ran the same campaign on Facebook, we will actually see that on TikTok we got 28% lower CPM and an amazing 77% lower CPC. And this is the proof for to our clients that TikTok works very well for us and for their campaigns. And this reveals a great opportunity, because the auction on TikTok is not as competitive as on other social media platforms. And this gives the brands a great opportunity to get their message out there and promote the brand. This is the second campaign we ran with Littlewoods Ireland. It is a partnership with Michelle Keegan. She was promoting her latest arrivals in the Littlewoods website. This time we didn't create a dark ad. We posted this organically on the Littlewoods profile, and then we boosted it. As you will see, it has the look and feel of more like an organic ad rather than a paid ad. Yeah, Michelle Keegan is always great and she always performs very well in our campaigns. The 2 points we want to make with these results is the engagement rate first. It was very strong at 3%. Again, comparing that to other platforms, we don't see this kind of engagement rate anymore. We got thousands of likes, thousands of clicks through the ad, many shares and comments. And also the paid followers. We got more than 1,500 followers from this ad. And what this shows us is that people view the ad, see the ad, click the ad, visit the Littlewoods profile because they want to consume more content, and then they decide to follow the brand, to follow the Littlewoods profile. And this is very important to grow the following of Littlewoods. So those two stats shows us two things. Firstly, that people really like this influencer type of content, so Littlewoods Ireland should be doing more of that. And secondly, that people want to consume more and more content from Littlewoods on TikTok. Another campaign we ran in a partnership with Louise Cooney this time to promote the launch of the new Benefit mascara. This time we didn't post this on the Littlewoods profile. Louise posted it on her profile, and then we boosted it. The results were great again. We optimized the campaign for traffic, and we got a great CPC of under 50 cents. The engagement rate was again very strong at 3.1%. And this time we got almost 1,000 followers from this ad. You will see that if you compare it to Michelle Keegan's ad, the paid followers were actually, the number was lower. And this makes sense because some of these clicks resulted on people going to Louise's profile, not the Littlewoods profile. But this is a great incentive for your clients, for your partnerships with influencers, to tell them that the ads are going to help them grow their following and expand their reach. If we compare now these numbers to Instagram stories that we ran the exact same campaign, Instagram stories actually recorded lower CPC, but again, massive difference in CPM and reach from TikTok. We got 5 times lower CPM on TikTok and 6 times more reach. And this again shows that the reach is on TikTok. People are engaging with TikTok daily. Actually, I didn't play the ads if you want to see that.
When I popped off and you go gave me just a little bit of hot chop, baby, so cold.
Again, it's like what Joel said, don't make ads, make TikToks here. And now we will move to another client of ours, Hoodies. Hoodies is 100% Irish-owned retailer with 35 branches nationwide. It has a huge product range with DIY products, lighting, paints, and home style, etc. The recent campaign we ran with Hoodies was last weekend on Sunday. They launched their branded ATL campaign with Liam, a little boy that whose best friend was his flower, and he really loved his garden. As you will see, it was a very emotional ad.
I love this place so much because I found all coin here once. That's right. Okay, let's go. Dr. Baker, Mr. Murphy, he's a psychologist.
Yeah, Julia.
It's dangerous because rocket guys are making toes. That's what a hot lava is. Come on. To the jungle. There's all you new friends. You're gonna like this place, and you look great. You're my best friend.
Woodies, we're all homemakers.
So what we wanted to do here was to maximize reach again, but because it was a very emotional campaign, we wanted to use the most premium ad format that TikTok offers, and this is the top view. Last Sunday, if you use TikTok, you would be served this ad first. And this helped us create a buzz around the Hoodies brand and maximize reach for their brand. The results were incredible. We managed to get more than 2 million impressions. Actually, it was 7.5% above the benchmark. And the CTR was super high at 15%. And this makes sense because these first few ad formats that people see first work very well. When we analyzed further the data and we started looking at things like website traffic from TikTok, we could see that more than 90% of website visitors from TikTok were new users. And this is very important not only for Woodies, but for all brands, because through TikTok, they expand their audiences and they can start building more on their marketing audiences to support what Rosin and Joel were telling before. Finally, another thing we would like to show is how the TikTok ads work in parallel with TikTok organic. So we only launched the paid campaign, and 90% of the website traffic from TikTok was from paid, but also 10% came from organic from TikTok. And this shows how those two work very well together. And also we could see a huge spike in direct as well. Again, this top view format worked very, very well for hoodies. So to answer this, the main question of the webinar, why should your brand be on TikTok? There are three reasons for us why you should be on TikTok. Firstly, because of the potential reach. 1.6 million users to hit on this platform. This is massive and it's not available in any other social platforms. Then the audience expansion. We saw cases for Little Woods Ireland and for Woodies that 99% of website visitors coming from TikTok were new users. And this means that you can start building your remarketing audiences, and those audiences can be used not only from social, but also PPC and other channels. Of course, an opportunity to grow your following. We know that for brands that join new channels, it's a pain, especially in the beginning, to grow their following. We could see that through the ads, people wanted to consume more content and they were following the brands on their own. And finally, just a little tip from us, because we tested different CTAs, the Shop Now, the Learn More, the Visit Store, we saw that the Visit Store works better. Maybe don't go very hard selling the Shop Now for now, maybe just try the Visit Store, just as a little tip from us. So that was it. Thank you very much for attending. If you want to run TikTok ads with us, please email us at hi@wolfgangdigital.com. And now, if we have any questions, Rosen will let us know.
Yes, there's loads of questions. So thank you so much. So I'll just pick out the ones that I think, there's lots of them can be grouped together. There's some ones that have asked in a few different ways, but okay, the first one I think that's a really, really good one is that they want to do TikTok ads, but they wouldn't have the resource to like run an organic TikTok account, right? So they can't invest the time in posting daily TikTok videos. So Joe, what would you recommend in that case? Like, do you have to have a really active organic account in order to be running paid ads?
Yeah, I think it's a really good question. You know, from my side and my experience with some of my clients, I'd say roughly 70% of my clients don't actually have a strong organic presence on TikTok. So it's not necessarily a necessity. You know, it is obviously good if we're looking at, you know, a bit more of like an always on approach whereby you have that strong organic presence, but isn't necessarily a necessity either. So, you know, when setting up a TikTok campaign, if we are doing this, you know, via the agency business center that we have with Wolfgang, then obviously we can, you know, use a particular image on behalf of that business and upload that as their recommendation as well.
Okay, great. A few people have asked about certain industries. So like, would TikTok work for insurance, charities, and I think another one was like a dentist, another one was a childcare service provider, hotels. Like, do you see a huge range of industries on TikTok, and are there any that you would recommend? Maybe the easiest way to answer it is there any you wouldn't recommend running ads on TikTok, or do you think they all can find their place on the platform?
I think, you know, it's a really good point as well. You know, from my perspective, I'd highly recommend, if you are working for a business in that particular industry, is actually downloading the app yourself and searching keywords into the platform from an organic perspective and seeing, okay, what's actually trending from an organic perspective? You know, how are other insurance providers working on the platform? Because, yeah, funnily enough, I found out that in the UK, we've actually got a community of 1.6 million people who are interested in motorcycling, which is, you know, a massive community in the UK alone. So TikTok really does have a community, you know, for all industries and all verticals. In terms of, you know, what's performing best, I think, you know, it's kind of it's no secret that, you know, e-com is obviously massive on TikTok and on all social platforms at the moment. I think beauty is obviously indexing high on our platform as well, but really there's a community for everyone. In terms of, you know, clients and industries that we currently don't permit on the platform. You know, that I can share it after the call, but there's kind of ad policy guidelines that we can share. Crypto is one that isn't currently allowed on the platform. Gambling, alcohol aren't currently allowed either. But charities and insurance, yeah, by all means, get on the platform. We'd love to have you.
Okay, good stuff. Someone asked what we think of the government agencies joining TikTok. Do users want to see this kind of content, or do they go to TikTok to escape it? Personally, I know Simon Harris recently joined TikTok, and not that it was that video, but I have no problem with it. And I've actually found out about changes in lockdowns from TikTok first before seeing it on the news. So like last night I saw that our restrictions were getting eased in May, and I actually saw that from a TikTok, from a news outlet, before I got it on the news. So I think users seem to be very open to hearing updates. It's particularly probably related to COVID at the moment. Joel, I don't know, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the government in the UK and in Ireland, actually, to that extent as well, we've done campaigns with both government organisations. So yeah, I mean, particularly with regards to COVID messaging, I think, it's been a platform whereby, TikTok's growth has ultimately, come as the result of, some lockdown measures in many ways. So yeah, it kind of goes hand in hand with that kind of COVID messaging as well. So yeah, I'd highly recommend getting up on the platform.
Great. A few people have asked about music. So as a business account on TikTok, you're not allowed to use the popular songs, but some larger brands are using the music. So can you just explain what the rules and regulations are with music rights on TikTok?
Yeah, definitely. So what we've set up our commercial music library. This allows you to work with up to, I think it's 5,000 songs that are kind of for free. These can all be overlaid into your campaigns on TikTok Ads Manager. If you are looking to use, music that is outside of that commercial music library, you will need to have the music, license and the rights to use that for marketing purposes. But we've got 5,000 songs there that you can take your pick from. We've done all the heavy lifting with the artists, with the labels off the back of that as well. So yeah, I'd recommend checking out that commercial music library.
Good stuff. There's loads here. Okay, in general, are you seeing better performance with influencer partnership or ad buys? I presume they mean ad buys as in using your own creative over an influencer's creative. I think that's what they mean. Do you see better performance when you use an influencer?
Yeah, definitely. It goes back to our mantra for business, right? The more authentic you can be on the platform, the better. Working with creators and influencers is one of our best practices. We do have tools that you can use to repurpose ads that you have used on, other platforms. If you've got video footage that you've used on YouTube or Instagram, for example, we can repackage that. But a best practice for us would be working with, influencers and creators.
Okay, good stuff. A few people have asked, is it suited at all to B2B, or would you mainly recommend it for B2C?
In terms of B2B and B2C, B2C is probably our our bread and butter really in many ways. I'd say some of our most successful campaigns have obviously been from the B2C sector. In terms of B2B, we've recently launched a massive campaign with Sage. It was a huge branded hashtag challenge that we did with Sage. But I'm pretty sure there's plenty of content available on LinkedIn or kind of online as well if you want to check that out. But alternatively, I can share this case study with you guys after the call as well.
Okay, perfect. Someone asked, will we be sharing this after the call? And we will. Everyone should receive an email hopefully afterwards, and maybe Joe, we'll get those links off you and we'll send it all together so we have resources for everybody. Yeah, well, like if someone, I presume they mean organically, do you guys work towards active user time? So is there an ideal time to post on TikTok, for example, in Ireland?
I mean, it's a really good point. I mean, in terms of, the users on our platform, I'd, say the evenings and weekends are probably the kind of best times at the moment in terms of users actively using the platform. But really, because we are built around a content graph, in terms of, what can perform best from an organic perspective is really, down to the users that view it. Anything can really go viral on TikTok. One thing that we can do to complement that is, if you are running organic posts, we can also put paid for revenue behind that, run boosted TikToks on that, as you guys, mentioned earlier, and kind of just, create some virality from that organic post by putting that paid for revenue behind it.
Okay, gotcha. And is there like any idea about how often you should post organically? If these people are wondering how many times do I need to post per week, for example, do you have that information, or does it just depend on the quality of the content you're going to be able to produce?
That's a really good question. Something that I'll pick up with a separate team internally in terms of how often is good to post. I mean, I wouldn't want to say too often, but I'd say at least a couple of times a week. Yeah,
there's no magic number, unfortunately. That there isn't. Like we know from the campaigns on the organic we do for all of our clients that we are very hesitant to give a magic number of posts. It's actually about the quality. Like we prefer one great quality post that fits into your strategy per week, rather than 7 ones that are being posted without a strategic push behind them. So I don't think there is a magic number, unfortunately. It's more about what resources do you have that can ensure that what you're posting will be a strong piece of content. If that's once a week or once a month, it depends on the resource you have. That's kind of how we tend to approach it with our clients anyway. Can you run pharma ads and political ads?
Pharma is acceptable. Yeah, we've got kind of some guidelines behind that, but the majority we can approve. In terms of from political, if we are running ads, based from government organisations that don't kind of encourage, the like voting, for example, then we can. But political is a bit of a grey area at the moment. So if there is an opportunity there, I'd be more than happy to take that offline and have a conversation with whoever's asked that as well. Good
stuff. Anna, this might be one more for you. So you spoke a lot about our campaigns driving new visitors to the website. Do you know how many of these, if they converted, or did they typically come back to convert on other channels?
We could see from the top path view, for example, report in Google Analytics, that people were using TikTok as the awareness stage. That was the first touch point, and then they were converting from either direct or paid search. This is what the results told us. But at the same time, the campaigns that we showed you were mostly about awareness. We didn't try these lower funnel advertising formats from TikTok. And I think if we try the collection ads and maybe the DPAs on TikTok, those should drive direct conversions. Yeah, I'm very positive towards this. But for now, what we try to achieve, reach, awareness, ad recall, these were helping with assisted other channels.
Joel, is there an ad spend limit, and is the self-serve platform available in Ireland?
So when working with our platform, we'd recommend new advertisers coming in at €10,000 investment over a 30-day period, just to really allow the algorithm enough learnings to to get past that particular learning phase and optimize towards more bottom of funnel approaches as well. In terms of the self-serve platform being used in Ireland at the moment, we're only currently working with exclusive agency partners in order to roll this out, such as Wolfgang. So my suggestion would be to work with agencies and then go down that route for the self-serve strategies in Ireland.
Yeah, particularly I guess if you're going to be investing that type of budget, I think it's important to have an agency there working with you, so we can work very closely with Joel. If you're investing €10,000, for example, that's a big investment for most brands. So you want to make sure your campaigns are optimized really effectively, and that we're getting the best information directly from TikTok as well. And is there an ad limit? Is there an age limit on who you can target?
So our targeting is in terms of demographics. So 13 plus is the targeting that we offer. Okay. We're a 13 plus app in the App Store. And again, you can break that down based on 13 to 17, 18 to 24, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Somebody asked, is TikTok available in India? Do you know?
Good question. India's we know that we are no longer active in India, but yeah, this is something that our team are reviewing. But yeah, I'll check that one internally for you.
Cool. This is for the Littlewoods kind of campaign. It was asked, I guess why we didn't post more organically and why it was mainly through paid.
We posted organically. It was not two of the campaigns were boosted from organic, and one was created as a dark post. But we also posted it organically. I think all the posts should go out organically and as ads, but those that feel more like organic and not very branded should be boosted. The others should go as dark ads, because like people are not very used to seeing ads on TikTok right now, which is both an advantage and a disadvantage for brands. So I think post everything organically, especially influencer content, but all these more branded campaigns around them as dark ads. My personal opinion, and also because those CTAs will focus on driving traffic to your website instead of the organic profile or the influencer's profile.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Anna. Trying to think of anything else we haven't covered. If you want to use TikTokers for your campaigns, what's an effective way to reach out to them? I presume that just depends on the TikToker. They usually have an agency they work with if they're big, right? So you probably just have to, what's the best way to get in touch with TikTokers?
Yeah, I mean, for example, the creator marketplace is something that we've set up, allows you to reach, creators that are performing best in particular markets. We have got 10,000 creators on there, so we haven't got all the creators. But yeah, I mean, if somebody takes your fancy, I'm sure you could probably reach out to them using your brand account as well, and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, okay, great. Is there somewhere people can go for specific case studies in certain industries? Someone has asked for education, another person has asked for government service brands. Do you have a resource that users can visit and read your case studies?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll send it over to you, Roisin.
Okay.
I can also just put it in the chat here. So this allows you to break down, if you go onto the inspiration page, it allows you to break down by specific industries. You can look at all the key industries that we've got access in, the branded solutions, and obviously the regions off the back of that as well. So these are all the public case studies. Yeah, by all means, check them out as well.
Perfect. Okay, so that link is in the chat for anyone now who wants to bookmark that and visit it at a later stage. So I think that they're the main questions. So we will leave it there. But thank you so much for all the questions and the participation. As Anna mentioned, if you would like to work with us on a TikTok campaign, you can just email hi@wolfgangdigital.com and we'll be in touch, and we can chat through suggested strategy and budgets and stuff like that. But feel free to email us anyway, and we'll be sending around the deck and any other resources we think are relevant after the talk. But yeah, thanks a million, and thanks Anna, and thanks Joel. We appreciate your time.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks everybody. Bye.